more like it.
That is Chris Hemsworth as Thor, one of the Avengers who together have smashed box office records while saving the world. Before he became a larger-than-life hero of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Hemsworth made his name as a young Australian soap opera star. When not wielding the hammer of Thor, the 39-year-old has been in movies like The Huntsman, the Formula One driving film Rush, and in a memorable turn to comedy, Ghostbusters. Now the father of three who lives with his family far from Hollywood in Australia is playing himself in an intense new series where he looks for the secrets to living longer and happier. Chris and I got together in New York this week for a Sunday Sitdown.
The power.
Chris Hemsworth plays a big, strong superhero in the movies. But now he is putting his real-life strength to the test with no special effects.
I look down and I feel like I have vertigo and huge rush of adrenaline, brief moments of, uh-oh, I can't do this.
In the National Geographic docuseries Limitless, streaming on Disney+, Hemsworth confronts his fears by pushing himself to extremes.
Did they explain to you, Chris, that you'd be walking across a beam 1,000 feet above Sydney, or crawling through fire, or fighting for your life in a swimming pool?
There was little snippets of that, but I think intentionally they held back on the real details, I think. There might have been, I might have been running for the hills if they'd told me too much.
One of the best ways to protect myself from the ravages of stress is to confront it head on.
Behind the muscles and the hammer, Hemsworth battles stress and anxiety, just like us mortals.
The first episode, it's about stress. Was that piece of it hard for you to say, I'm going to drop the veil a little bit and just show fans who I am off screen?
It was probably my biggest hesitation. I'm used to being behind the mask of a character, and to then play yourself and confront some things that are stressful, are concerning, are problematic. It was kind of like being in a therapy session at times, but without the rebuttal of the advice at the end of it. So
I don't want stress to rule my life or take a toll on my health.
They did a deep dive into my blood work and my genetics, and found some things and some indications that that put me in a very high category, a risk category for Alzheimer's.
You have an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease.
How much higher?
Probably somewhere between 8 and 10 times higher.
It's an extraordinary moment when the doctor tells you that, and it just stops you in your tracks.
It was a real shock.
And to all of a sudden be told, oh, this may be the thing that might take you out, was like, whoa.
But became a wonderful motivator to make changes and pay attention to my sleep habits and my stress management. Look, again, if it also can help people go, oh, maybe I could do some investigating here and figure out some ways to give myself the best fighting chance, then great.
You're still a young man, but was part of the reason you took on this series because you are thinking about legacies, maybe not the right word, but like what you want out of this life?
It was a real sort of wake up to, if I continue in a sprint, you know, the finish line being death, one day I'll be there and I'll go, oh yeah, what just happened, you know? I had no idea it was going to teach me that we get one shot at it, as far as we know, and make the most of it.
Hemsworth grew up humbly with his parents and two brothers, moving between their home in Melbourne and cattle ranches in the Australian outback.
So for a young boy in the Northern Territory, what was life like?
Didn't own a pair of shoes for the first sort of year we were there, just because it was too hot. Your feet become leather, you're running around on the rocks and stones. You're trying to keep up with all the local Indigenous kids who are tough as hell, and they're laughing if I'm, you know, stepping on prickles and having a cry. My most vivid memories are of Northern Territory in the outback, and most beautiful memories too.
A high school film class recommended by his older brother Luke gave Hemsworth a crazy idea.
That's it, I'm going to Hollywood. I told my careers advisor at school, and she was like, oh, okay, what's your backup? I was like, oh, don't have one.
The road to Hollywood began on Australian TV, including a star-making stop on the popular soap opera Home and Away.
This isn't gonna work, you know.
What isn't?
You trying to come between Rachel and me.
After 3 years of playing a heartthrob, Hemsworth was ready for that flight to Los Angeles.
The first sort of 3-4 months I was there, it was like, no. And then I had 8, 9, 10 months of nothing. And, you know, I'd walk into a situation and there'd be adrenaline and shortness of breath and so on. Instead of thinking, okay, this signals a tragic situation and I'm going to fail, I think, no, this is excitement. This is signaling my ability to think quicker, see clearer. And that really, you know, reprogrammed things for me and go, no, I deserve to be here.
In 2009, Hemsworth got his break when he was cast by director J.J. Abrams as Captain Kirk's father in the Star Trek movie.
Let's name him after your dad. Let's call him Jim.
The film was a box office hit, and Hemsworth's performance caught the attention of the team at Marvel, plotting a movie about the god of thunder.
I will not fight you, brother!
Beating out his younger brother Liam for the role, Hemsworth became Thor.
This drink, I like it. Another!
Together, the 4 Thor movies have made nearly $3 billion and made Hemsworth one of Hollywood's most valuable stars.
Did you have a sense when you started Thor just over a decade ago? You couldn't have imagined it was going to be this big and this life-changing.
I mean, every job you're hoping it's going to be that. Most days I was spent just waiting for the tap on the shoulder and say, this is not working, kid, get out of here. You know?
That tap never came, and even the fans inside his own house are asking for more.
They're not going to let you go, man. They're too popular.
No. My daughter said that. I was like, you know, my job could be home more. She goes, you're not going to act anymore. I was like, maybe I'll just stay home with you. And she goes, hey, Dad, kids want to see you play Thor. I was like, oh, okay, well, does this kid want to see her dad? No, maybe.
She's like, eh.
She's like, yeah, sometimes.
Take care of my crew. This is going to be hard for them.
Hurry up!
Not her.
Have you stopped ever to think about life before and after?
It's been wonderful to do something or achieve something that was my dream and continually be in a situation where I'm pinching myself going, remember when it was the other way, when it was like that. I hope I can just be in a constant state of appreciation for it.
Limitless with Chris Hemsworth is streaming now on Disney+. Our big thanks to Felice on Hudson Restaurant in New York for hosting our conversation. Don't forget to subscribe to the Sunday Sitdown podcast to hear the full interview with Chris Hemsworth, including what life after Thor might look like for him. You can find our conversation on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get yours.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.